Welcome to Rise Up in Business, the law podcast for small business owners. I'm your host, Tracy Myler-Crane. I'm a business lawyer, an entrepreneur, and very much a realist. Rise Up in Business is designed to share with small business owners important legal information and some clever tips and tricks in short and sharp episodes, no legal jargon. With this podcast, I want to empower small business owners to rise up and take control in their business. I'll be here every Wednesday to tell you what you need to know without sending you to sleep. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to the Rise Up in Business podcast. We are now into season 4, and as you know, I am bringing on some very impressive guests this season to talk with me about their experience in business and what it's been like for them working with me. And today is no exception because I have the amazing Alisha with me today. And Alisha, if you don't know already, is from the Social Impact and her new business Rise with Reels. Alisha, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited to have you here and to be chatting with you about this. So I know you fairly well because we've been working together for a while, and I'm sure that most of my listeners will know you too. But can you just introduce yourself and tell us what you do in the Social Impact and Rise with Reels?
Absolutely. So I am a Reels coach. I work with business and brand owners to help them utilize their Instagram platform to grow their brand and skyrocket their product sales, their product growth. So particularly with the social impact, I work with product-based businesses and lifestyle brands. And then when Reels came about last year, and I wanted to really apply my knowledge, my understanding from video marketing into Reels and to help others. So I connected with a lovely business owner who I'd never met before, and we created a course that just turned into this epic community and started our second business, and that's Rise with Reels.
Oh my gosh, this story is incredible. And I just want to pause because I didn't realise until recently that you didn't know Monique prior to starting Rise with Reels. Tell me how that came about because, gosh, this is a brilliant story.
Yeah, so it's so funny. I go on and on and on about the power of Instagram, the power of Reels. But honestly, some of my closest friends and some of the people who I work best with now and speak with every day are the ones that I've actually connected with and met on Instagram. And Monique is no exception to that. So I came across Monique probably about a year, maybe 15 months ago. And I saw that she did quite similar to work to me. At the time, I was still doing social media management. I was still offering sort of video work as well. And she was quite similar. I saw that she had a background in video marketing, video production. And I thought, this girl, she's like my Sydney version because I'm in Melbourne, Mom's in Sydney. And thanks to the world of lockdown and our pandemic, we sort of didn't really cross paths in person. So it was all through Instagram. And then when Reels came out, I had started messaging Mon. So I actually slid into her DMs and I sort of just started, connecting with her. I introduced myself. I said, I love videos as well. I'm loving seeing yours. And it's really, really nice to see someone in this similar space to me. And so we started sort of just touching base with each other. And every Monday I was like, look, we are so similar. We've got such similar businesses. How about we have like a Monday check-in? Being a business owner can get really lonely. So how about Mondays we check in with each other, say our wins, have a bit of a dance party, get that energy going. Anyway, so we did. And then after Reels came out, of course, with the video background from both of us, we jumped on straight away. And after I saw that her Reels were gaining similar success, her Reels were quite similar to mine, the energy was very similar, I sort of thought, my goodness, I know that we're both getting all these questions. There is no course, there's nothing that can provide the help that we've got. And because Reels was still so new, no one else really had that understanding yet from both Reels and that psychology of video marketing and advertising. So we were able to apply that into a course, and we didn't really expect another business to start. I mean, I'd never met Mon in person, and I'd only had a few FaceTime calls with her. And I called her for the first time face to face on FaceTime. And I said to her, I was like, hello, I know we don't usually FaceTime each other. I'm Alicia, but I have a crazy idea. All right. What if you and I start a course? And that's how it came about. I pitched it to Mon. I said, Mon, you and I together, like we have so much knowledge separately, but if we came together, we were able to do this together, you know, it would be such a special thing. It would be able to provide so many business owners with everything they need. And we just never expected the path that we've taken.
And I'm loving this. Can you share with us, because I know what this path is, but I want everybody else to know, because not only are you just the shining example of women supporting women in business, and how you've just described how you reached out to Monique is incredible and inspiring. Can you tell us what that path has been? Because you have experienced growth on a level that so many of us dream about.
It's just bizarre. And I think one thing really special about Mon that I never expected is we have so many similarities in our mindset, but also the way we approach things. Like we still pinch ourselves. We still cannot believe that, you know, every time a realtor signs up, we're doing a little happy dance. And we're very sort of similar in that sense, that we never want it to become so big that we can't actually appreciate and we can't actually get to, you know, build those connections with our audience. So we have just closed the doors for our 4th round of Rise with Reels. And so we have had over 600 reelers, which is what we call our students, inside our community. And that is worldwide. 600 students trusting us and jumping inside of our community and applying everything we teach them. I'm just saying this back to myself to set it in again. Oh my goodness.
And tell me, this is launch number 4. When was launch number 1?
So launch number 1 was October last year. And it was the first time either of us had properly done a course. And we had no idea about the work that went into it. Oh my goodness. I am surprised we both survived, and I'm surprised we both have relationships that are still lasting and everything, because no one tells you the amount of work, the amount of effort, the amount of, oh my goodness, everything it consumes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's incredible. The growth to 600 reelers, as you call them, in less than 12 months. Oh my goodness. And I can just happily say that I have been delighted to be supporting you guys with your legals on the legal side of things. And I know from talking to you that the legals and working with a lawyer also falls into that category of no one tells you you need this. No one tells you about that. And you've told me recently that you had hesitation or reservation for quite a while before reaching out to work with a lawyer. Can you tell us about that? Because so many people tell me that, and I would love to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah, definitely. So I actually have quite a few friends. My brother's a lawyer. And so it's not like I just don't really know much about, you know, law and the importance of it. But for me, I sort of just kept being a little bit naive in the sense of, it's not going to happen to me. It'll be fine. You know, I can put this off. And at the time, if you asked me a year ago, I would have been said, I can't spend that much. And my mindset around it has just completely changed, because it's not spending, it's investing. It's like a very, very smart investment that allows me to go and do business every day, knowing that I have proper customized documents, and that is going to cover me. Because what I sort of started to think was, okay, I can invest this money now, know that it's done right, know that I haven't cut corners. And then that way I can go in and I can do all the work I want to do with, 1, I can sleep at night. I don't have to stress too much. And 2, I also get to know that down the track, I'm secured in the sense that something could appear and I could end up having to spend or invest a whole lot more down the track because I didn't invest in proper legal help. And now I've got myself in a pickle, and it's a crazy, life-changing in the worst way issue. So for me, I sort of just realized that I really needed to do something. And I think my problem next was, what next? Who can I trust? Who can I go to? And I really, really appreciate the fact that you're on Instagram, the fact that I had quite a few recommendations as well. And I wanted to know someone by their face value rather than just their website or, Google. I wanted to be able to come onto Instagram, and I wanted to use this platform I speak so highly about to feel like I can trust the person that I am going to be investing in for my legal help.
Oh my gosh, I'm just so heartened to hear you say that. I'm so delighted. And I just love the comment you made about you have me sitting on your shoulder in a nice way, because I love that. And you're right, Instagram has been so instrumental in forming some of these relationships. And I feel like I've known you for years and we've never actually met in person, much like you and Monique.
No, it's a special, special thing. And I remember telling you because we first worked with my first business, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I need you in the second business. I need your help now. I had looked at templates. And things out there, and I just didn't get the best feeling about it, like filling in the gaps and hoping for the best that I've done it right. I was like, that could potentially just get me into trouble. I read and remind myself of this saying, like, buy cheap, buy twice. And I've had to learn that the hard way with a lot of areas in my business where I've gone the cheaper option. And then I've been like, oh my God, that was such a waste of money, because now I need someone who can properly do it. And I thought, I don't want that to be the case with my legals. So I'm so happy that I went with you. And after our session, after it sort of all came together, I felt this massive just release of stress and tension, because I was like, I think I said to you, I felt like I was walking on a tightrope in the middle of two very tall buildings, hoping I'd get across. And with you, I was like, I feel like I can kind of fly between two buildings now.
That is such a brilliant way to categorize it. And it fills my heart with so much joy, because that is what I aim to do. And you and I have just connected and I've been able to do that. So I'm so grateful. I hadn't heard before you just said it, the buy it cheap, buy it twice. But oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And I think I'm actually going to use that in some of my messaging as well. Oh,
No,
that just
go for
nails it. And you're not alone, because so many people ask me questions about templates. And anybody who's been following me for a while knows that I say DIY is for Bunnings, not for your legals.
Oh, that is so good.
It is. And yes, there is a time and a place for templates in certain circumstances, but I just don't think it's your legals. And I'm so delighted to hear you share your views on that too. I think that's really valuable.
Yeah, 100%.
This has been so valuable. Thank you. Because you are just the cover girl story, I suppose, for those of us or those business owners who are thinking about doing it, and they've got the idea and they've got the passion, they've got the drive, but things just hold them back. And obviously I think a lot of it's mindset and not having the confidence. But just hearing your story, I know, is going to inspire and motivate so many people to dive in and give it a go. So thank you so much for taking the time and sharing that with us today, because I know that so many people are going to find inspiration in that.
I'm just grateful that you've given me this platform to be able to do that, because I was in a job where I just felt useless. I woke up every day and felt like, as sad as it sounds, I could die tomorrow. And I don't think, except for the people who know me and love me, I don't think I would have made an impact on this world. And so for me, that put me into a real slump. Like, I just felt like life was meaningless. And now I wake up every day, and it took so much work to get here. But oh my gosh, as I was walking up the steps before, just to get myself a little bit of a drink, I thought to myself, I am so lucky that this is my work. I'm about to jump on a call, be on Tracy's podcast, and, be able to speak. I'm just absolutely so thankful.
And we can all say with absolute certainty you have made such an impact on the lives of more than 600 people in less than 12 months. So go you. Before we finish up, I've got 3 quick questions that I would love to ask you, and short and sharp. So I'm putting you on the spot, and so we'll see what your answers are, because I know that my listeners will get value out of this. Are you ready?
Yes, hit me.
Okay, first one. What is the best business advice you've received?
As cliche as it may sound, investing. I went into business and just felt that I needed to, earn as much money as I could and then put it in the bank and, great. But now I'm like, no. Like, I still pay myself from what I earn, I still pay myself my 9 to 5 wage. Everything else goes back into investments for the business, for the future of it.
Love it. I love that. Love it. The next one, what is the worst business advice that you've received?
Oh, it's tossing up. On the Instagram front, it was to buy an account and, take that option of having that social proof of followers, because I wouldn't be taken seriously enough. And that was a mess in itself. But probably on the business front, that I could cut corners and try and learn things myself. Why sort of try and pay for others when you can do that yourself? You're good enough to do that yourself. And now I'm just constantly looking like I can do Instagram and I can do Reels, right? That is what I do. I can be the face of my brand, but everything else, I am not as good as an expert. So why am I spending hours trying to do half as good a job for them when I could focus that on bringing in money at what I do good for others? It's like everyone has their space in the world. And if I try and do other spaces, I'm just not going to be as efficient. I'm not going to get the most out of anything. So that's a big one.
That is good. And I know that's going to resonate with so many people. That is good. And last one, if you had the chance, what advice would you give to your younger self?
To believe in myself. I think the biggest thing that was stopping me when I was starting was that I've always sort of had commitment issues in relationships, but also in my own relationship with myself. I say I'm going to do something and then I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and it's going to be great. And, 6 months down the track and I've generally lost interest. So I didn't believe that in a year's time, I would still be doing this. I even had a fallback plan. I said, if I'm not doing well with the social impact in 12 months, I'll go back and do this for my job. So when I went all in, when I really believed, I was like, I'm putting money on the table. I'm investing. So therefore, I have things to lose. Like, I am going to make this work. I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to make it work. That's when everything changed. And I wish I'd have told myself that sooner.
That is brilliant. And again, I know that is going to resonate with so many people because self-doubt is very real. Thank you, Alisha, so much for sharing that with us. Now, how can people find you?
So you can find me over on Instagram. That's the best place. You'll get all of me with my reels, my stories, my dogs, everything. That's the socialimpact.au on Instagram. And you can also find me at Rise with Reels course. So you've got the best of both worlds on Instagram. And of course, you can come and visit me and work with me through my website at thesocialimpact.com.au as well.
Amazing. Thank you. And we'll pop those details into the show notes as well. And I really encourage people to connect with you because you are such an inspiration. I can't thank you enough for sharing your time with us today. Thank you so much.
So welcome. Thank you so much, Tracy, for everything you do.
That's it for today's episode. Short and sharp, just like I promised. If you liked the episode, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes, and I would be most grateful if you would leave a review on Apple Podcasts. As always, remember to keep your business legals in order with my annual legal checklist. You can grab your free copy by heading over to my website, tmsolicitor.com.au/checklist. I'll catch you next week. Thanks so much for listening.